60. Let's see. It's curious to me that cult and culture come from the same word. What is a cult? It's a gathering of people, things, events. It's a gathering of like-mindedness that interact with each other and form a kind of a skin around themselves that interacts with others, yet has its own language, its own state of being, its own vibration within its concentric circle of itself. That circle breeds its own identity within itself. Just like a cell dividing makes more of itself. And as the cells of one culture meet with the cells of another, their skins kind of form a kind of a friction. And that friction makes a space between them where information is transmitted and ideas go from one area of culture to another. The same thing happens in countries, of course, and cultures that have their own languages. They have a separate identity, and the language somehow expresses that identity in the way it sounds and the way it feels when you encounter it. And this encounter with other cultures causes a kind of a friction because information that is unknown and of a different origin, seemingly different origin, transmits itself into areas where it's not been known before. And this happened to a great deal in the 60s with the Indian mysticism and so on, and yoga, as that information from the ancient times of India sort of rubbed itself up against the West and created a new form of Westerner that's comfortable with meditation and yogic practices of breathing and concentration and so on, like that. These cultures and their mixing are speeding up now, and it's because of the internet, the network around the globe of this conscious filaments and fibers of information transmission that allow windows into other situations and allow our identities to be more non-local and to be able to exist outside of the confines of the place, time, and physical body, for that matter. Because identity, it seems, is able to be shifted. And as this happens between cultures, because of these new technologies, it's a way of making the culture aware of a different kind of culture on another whole level that hasn't been explored before. And the way these cultures interact with the trading of places, the wearing of the other shoes for a brief moment in time and space, this causes, yes, it can be uncomfortable because others are not like us in many ways. Our culture has developed separately, and that diversity, that's the good thing, because that's the richness. That's where you can go to seek the new ideas and the different ways of thinking about things, which allow for the transmission of culture and ideas to percolate to the surface of language and being and experience. And this is a wonderful thing, and I love the way the internet, has allowed these doorways to open between the cultures so that we can see into the others' worlds and become more familiar with them and incorporate parts of their ideas into our own ideas. And it's a kind of beneficent influence when it's done without force, when it's done from the choosing of the individual. And this is why the social media and the social engineering projects are so interesting at the moment. It's because social engineering is happening in a new way and on a new level that hasn't been known before. And so cultures influence, and that influence is, they're looking shocked on the mainstream media about culture's influence on us, on our culture. And, we've been sending our movies and our TV and our this and that to all around the world. Now it's coming back again, and we're getting ideas from other areas of culture that are different and have other ideas from us and that participate in the diversity. And yes, where the cultures intermingle, it causes a kind of friction. And yet at the same time, we are our own culture, and we bring that as a gift to others, and as they do to us. And so it's like the way the DNA exchanges itself, in our evolution. We do best when we interact with all the different kinds, because that causes the genome to be healthy and diverse, and it has a staying power and a resilience and a immunity because of its diversity. And these qualities in the human sphere transmit outwards into the cultures of other beings and other animals and other earth life forms and life forms throughout the universe. These are universal models of ideas, and we will encounter them again and again because they're recurrent and they're part of the great